our next speaker is going to be Jeffery talking about catalysts for community. Give it up for Jeffery.
Hi all, my name is Jeffrey John, and I'm calling in from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, where I'm an incoming graduate student studying human computer interaction at Carnegie Mellon. But this past February, I was at UJ Hack 7 at the University of Georgia as lead director, and this was me most of the weekend. At least most of Saturday after we did all of our Friday night events, preparing for our workshops. It was a really chaotic, amazing time. And I'm here to talk about how hackathons can be a catalyst for your communities more than just your event weekend, because while event weekends are great, a lot happens, many projects submitted, teams come in, teams fly in, but you have a lot of potential that happens afterwards. A lot of the community that grows happens afterwards in order to the next come to the event the next year, next month, whatever the case may be. And so in chemical terms, a catalyst is something that helps a reaction happen faster. It helps something grow. Think of it like the critical mass of having enough technical enthusiasm in your communities. And hackathons are a really great way to make that happen because you have everything run in one place and you have everyone excited or at least open to learning. And so many of your teams may already have a technical portion. We certainly did, but especially as many of our backgrounds were computer science or business or entrepreneurship, we decided to look at a lot of experiments that we could try this year with our community in a collaborative fashion ahead of the event and seeing what we wanted to implement during the hackathon weekend itself. So we took on a capstone team to help develop our very first mobile app. We looked into having an esports tournament during the event itself. We worked with our co-host to have a cryptocurrency based on Ethereum. And one thing we really believe in as a hackathon team is we don't necessarily have a stance on these technologies ourselves, but we believe all of our attendees should have the opportunity in their own communities to practice, to test, and develop their own opinion themselves. And so the other follow-up here is we have one major event at University of Georgia, but we're not the only technical events that happen on campus. There are many clubs that meet every week, every other week, 2 times a week even, and we want to make sure that we're having a cohesive image, and we want to make sure that all the students that happen to be involved in the technical community don't have to pick and choose how they're involved and why. So, for example, the Association of Community Machinery is a really big professional organization. But you might have seen throughout this weekend, there are a lot of other programs as well, from Twilio's Student Ambassador Program that's brand new, a GitHub, Stack Overflow, and all of these different programs exist to help your technical communities thrive and also give you material so that even if your teams are super busy planning your hackathons, it's not too hard to step outside for a week, a day every month, just to have other resources and other opportunities for your student population. Another really big portion of this as well is if you have a community that exists outside of your campus or if you're not affiliated with the university, there are programs like Google Developer Groups or AWS where they want to have a integration with not just students but the professionals around your community as well that want to be involved, want to mentor. And so as a hackathon team, you can create those opportunities for other people, no matter where they're affiliated, to come in and help your community. Another really big aspect of hackathons is that they're probably the highest proportion of your technical community you're ever going to get in one place. For example, we have about 2,000 CS and CS-related majors on our campus, and we usually get about 900 to 1,000 of them at our events. That's 50% of them, as opposed to maybe 1 to 0.5% at a standard weekly meeting. That higher proportion lets you have more accurate demographics. It lets you look into why people get involved, how they're getting involved. And if you're looking for sponsorships, sponsors might be more willing to sponsor your hackathon. But because they came to your hackathon, they're also willing to invest in your smaller communities and help them grow as well. And so another really big resource you have, especially as many of us come from hybrid events, where we had both digital events and in-person components, is if your clubs on campus work with mostly in-person or mostly virtual, you can be a sort of middle figure there, and you can help coordinate the transition between communities by connecting them together, by giving recommendations, follow up on your newsletters. And so lastly, I want to say that we own our own GitHub repository organization. I highly recommend you all do as well. It lets hackers see the tools that you use, contribute themselves, and if they want to open up their own pull request and give back to the event, they have an option to do so throughout the year. And so as a catalyst for community, I feel like it's kind of almost like a great opportunity to get people together and to see what they can do to make the next year even better. And so yeah, that's all from me. My name is Jeffrey John. You can find me on LinkedIn and Instagram. And if you want to send an email to our team, it's hello@ujhacks.com or at Carnegie Mellon, hello@scottylabs.org.
Incredible. Thanks, Jeffrey.